Once a common street thug, he'd been thrust into the limelight when he was plucked from the gutter and made famous by a prominent pop artist. Grizz's primitive artwork was hailed as a brilliant new style called paleo graffiti, and for a while he enjoyed a celebrity status.
All I ever really wanted to do is skate. That's right.
Okay?
No, it ain't okay. You know why the Grizz love skating? It's clean, man. It's like just me.
A product of his time, he dreams of taming the wild north, damming every river and chopping down all the trees, with progress delivered at the sharp end of an axe. Shipping spice for the Claw Gang proved a lucrative way to bankroll his one-man war against nature. And yet, I have to feel a little sorry for him. He's just a normal guy from the 1850s. Back in his day, he'd be a hero.
I ain't like you, boy. I ain't stupid. When y'all were unconscious, me and my boys paid a visit to your hideout and found all them clockwork parts. Lucky thing, too. Arpeggio is willing to plunk down a king's ransom for the whole lot. I even threw in the towel.
Sir Raleigh the Frog. As a young man, this hot-tempered frog grew bored of his life of luxury and privilege. On a whim, he tried his hand at a bit of piracy and found it to his liking. Raleigh, who quickly became addicted to crime, was brought into the Fiendish Five as chief machinist, where his evil tinkering genius rose to new heights.
How delightful. We have a guest. The only thing is, I hate unexpected guests.
After some more database digging, Bentley was able to uncover his Interpol file. El Jefe had an impressive record. Over the years, he had taken over dozens of small countries around the globe, usually for the highest bidder. He was a ruthless mercenary and military strategist of the highest order. In fact, he once boasted that he could overthrow a country commanding only 3 blind mice, armed with plastic spoons.
Oh, Cooper, you've climbed so high, and now you're gonna fall.
Born into a family of mystics, other children found her scary. Teaching herself to summon the undead provided what few friends she had. A career in crime allowed an adult Ms. Ruby to punish the world for fearing her as a child. Chief mystic for the Fiendish Five, her powers allowed them to break both the laws of man and nature at the same time. Yet despite the whirlwind success of her youth, she managed to slip into obscurity.
Oh, Sly, I see your mouth moving, but all I hear is blah, blah, blah. Well, if jaws need to flap, then let them flap. See you in the next world, Sly.
Miss Decibel had come from a wealthy British family. Her true love was classical music. Unfortunately, her complete lack of musical talent, coupled with an extreme temper, made for a volatile combination. After suffering a freak accident during a tantrum, she was left unable to play music normally. However, when she discovered she could control people with her hypnotic tones, a new criminal was born. She began using her devious talents to control others, forcing them to commit crimes for her.
This is your fault, Cooper. I will orchestrate your demise!
Although he changed his appearance somewhat, Toothpick was a 2-bit gangster from present-day Eastern Europe. According to his file, he'd grown up loving two things: gold and cowboy movies. He eventually specialized in gold robberies, and for a while had masterminded some of the largest scores around the world. Then he abruptly vanished. The word was he had always thought of himself as a gunslinger, and it looked like he had found a way to make that a reality. The guy was a real loose cannon.
Oh, blast you! Tennessee Kid Cooper! I'm gonna lock you in the deepest, darkest hole, and I'm going to throw away the key!
The paradox was from a family of thieves himself. And then we made a major discovery. I knew that my dad's heist of the world's largest diamond had made him a legendary thief, but what I never knew was that Le Paradox's father had planned to steal it first, and frame my dad for the crime. Only he was a little too slow, and got himself caught instead. With his father gone, Le Paradox had no one to teach him the family business, and after a string of failed jobs, he wound up in prison too. It was here, ironically, that he finally got his criminal education. After his release, Le Paradox maintained the appearance of a law-abiding citizen. In reality, he used his prison contacts to form his own syndicate and began masterminding heists worldwide. These days, he traveled the globe as a billionaire art collector, while his real business was the trafficking of priceless stolen treasures. Clearly, he blamed the Coopers for his family's past misfortunes, and his plan was to wipe us out completely.
Oh, you imbecile! I came after the Coopers to prove that Le Paradox is the greatest thief who has ever lived. Is there any doubt? Ask yourself this. If the Coopers were truly the greatest thieves in history, and I have stolen their most valued possessions, then what does that mean?
Vice lord known as Rajan. A self-made man who grew up poor on the streets of Calcutta, he started his life of crime selling illegal spices in the black market, eventually growing his small outfit to a sizable operation, and earning himself a seat in the prestigious Claw Gang. He's since crowned himself Lord of the Hills, and while he goes to great lengths to convince others of his royalty, it's mostly to convince himself.
This is it? This is the Cooper gang I've heard so much about and feared these long hours?
The Murray will renew your fear.
Who's the Murray? All I see is a fat, pathetic weakling!
Really, Cooper? A bad choice boarding a ship packed with over 100 pirates. Sure your keen is up to the task of cracking all our skulls?
I don't know about all of you, but yours, I'm sure it can manage.
Ha! Restrain this man and keep your distance from the enemy vessel. This smells of lubber trickery. Take heart, boys. Been a while since we witnessed the good plank walking.
Penelope, that you? It's time for a rescue. Lafouille. He's good.
Ha ha! The landlubber fell for it! Hook, line, and sinker! Thinks he can outmaneuver the smartest man on the 7 seas? Ha ha! Not hardly.
At the moment, they're the unwilling guests of Interpol's most renowned prison warden, the Contessa. While still a criminal psychology student, she entered into a whirlwind romance and married a wealthy aristocrat. Sadly, the union was short-lived, as the general suspiciously died a few weeks after the ceremony. The widowed Contessa put her education and newly acquired estate to work by opening a criminal rehabilitation center. Her pioneering use of hypnotherapy has produced some good results, and subsequently earned her a prominent position within Interpol.
It's cool. In a battle of strength, you've proven yourself. But with this clockwork eye, I can battle in your mind.
I just hope he steers clear of the local mob boss, Octavio. Growing up, this guy used to be a real celebrity in the neighborhood. Everyone loved to hear him sing opera, and said he was destined to be the next great tenor. But just as his career started to take off, musical tastes changed. Suddenly, it was all about rock music, and no one wanted to listen to opera anymore. He held on to a few fans, and it was these mobsters that took him into the business. Heading onto this guy's turf was dangerous, but...
La 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 la.
La, la, la.
La 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 la.
La, la, la.
La 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 la.
You think that was a cool punk? I have a mortar, but I am not holding back no longer. Listen to the song of your death.
The Murray knows no song but the triumphant horn section of his own triumph.
Quit talking, stupid kid, and die! So that's it. The old guard's out, and a new generation steps in.
The notorious mugshot. Ruthless muscle of the fiendish five. What he lacked in brains, he definitely made up for in brawn. Turns out he wasn't always that way. He grew up as the run of the litter. A neighborhood weakling. The only friends he could turn to were usually found on the big screen. It was there that he spotted his first gangster, and he knew instantly that that's what he wanted to be. He spent the rest of his youth working real hard to get there, fueled on his dreams of great power and respect. With enough perspiration, he realized that dream. He'd become a hard-boiled, street-brawling, tough-as-nails gangster, ensuring that he'd never be kicked on or pushed around again.
What? My boys have been yapping about some big mysterious dude running around cracking skulls and this is it? You're the monkey wrench in my operation? Some scrawny rat with a stick! Greetings, troglodytes! Didn't think I forgot about Mesa City, did you? I figure you joints let me smash up your aeroplane and we're even! You in what army? Dumb guy? Army? Oh yeah. Okay, boys. I paid you up good enough. Time to crack some skulls. If you don't got nothing to say nice, then don't say nothing at all. Get it? What? Ain't got no sassy comments, smart guy? Oh, I get it. You got nothing nice to say, so you're keeping quiet. That's real cute. You really got nothing nice to say? That's cold.
While attending a prestigious boarding school, the young Arpeggio excelled in all subjects, but he never managed to keep up with the other boys physically. Sadly, his wings, due to their small size, were useless for flight. Furious at his feeble body, he focused his powerful mind to search for a cure in the works of the Italian Renaissance masters. Their notebooks provided the springboard for this sinister young genius, and it wasn't long before the Claw Gang took him on as chief inventor. His talents must have been at work repurposing all the clockwork parts for their criminal schemes.
Mr. Cooper, no doubt you believed a reversal would pull the old bird apart, eh? But it seems to have had quite the opposite effect. I'm truly grateful. When fully powered up, I'll join myself to its circuit and be born anew! Ah, hypnotize those who'd eaten food covered in illegal spice. Thank goodness for Dimitri. Through his nightclub, he got the whole city to consume the spice.
You're going to Paris to unleash a hypnotic light show of hate. That's outlandishly cruel.
Cruel, perhaps, but necessary to give clockwork the spark of immortality. Ah well, my new body awaits me. Be a dear, Neyla, and keep him covered. Ta-ta! This is preposterous! You're my protege, not the next candidate for my immortality. I demand you exit the clockwork frame or...
The famous Sly Cooper. It seems you and your little gang were able to follow the trail I left for you. Of course, you'll be helpless without them, as you'll soon discover.
Come back and take it like a man.
Well done, esteemed wedding photographer. I'm impressed you lasted this long.
Stop this, Sal. Release Gene King and this fight can end.
No! Gene King is mine! Once our bloodlines cross, it shall be glorious! The Panda King in his day was magnificent. With the Tao name, a new generation of kings will be unstoppable.
But she doesn't want to marry you.
She's a woman. She doesn't know up from down. Once I convinced her father to take up meditation, she was ripe for the picking.
I faced a lot of bad men in my time, but you, sir, are the worst.
Oh, it gets worse, Cooper. Up until now, I've gone easy on you. But now you'll sample the ancient black art of the family Tao!
Delicious.
Thank you. It was delightful.
Accept your defeat gracefully.
Actually, Contessa, there's a good reason Inspector Fox never caught the Cooper gang. She's been in league with them the whole time. Liar! Prove it! This is a photo of Carmelita dancing with Sly Cooper on the night the Clockwork Wings were stolen.
Stupid Arpeggio. I double-crossed the Cooper gang, Interpol, and Carmelita. What made you think I wouldn't do the same to you?
Be brave while you can, Cooper. I might not have the immortality of pure hate, but I feel some power growing within me. I hate you, Cooper gang. I will find you in your sleep and I will destroy you. You will never know a moment's peace for the rest of your short, miserable lives. The clock will feel no revenge. I am revenge.
That Dr. M. If there's any justice, he'll get his.
Every time. How's your wife doing, Richards?
Oh, very well, Dr. M. Thank you for asking. Very thoughtful.
And your son, what's his name, Mike?
Mark, sir. He's well too, yeah?
It's a shame you won't be seeing them again.
Sir?
Afraid I poisoned your drink at lunch. Sorry, Richards, but I don't tolerate poor performance. You should have changed the security code from 123 after you installed the new system.
I'll improve, I swear!
No, you'll die any second now. Yes, water leaking into the lab. I'm on my way down. Oh, and get a janitor for the lab elevator. Richards got sloppy. I'm no lawbreaker. It was all self-defense.
First things first. Put Cooper down and we'll talk terms.
Sorry, Madam Cop, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. Although I can throw you a long, long way. Go and smash that woman. Crush her bones to paste and toss her in the sea where no one will ever find her. Oh, I'm sure it's operational.
Dr. M, glad you could see all this. I know you've been looking forward to it.
Looking forward to all this, and your death. Please, keep your touchy-feely rhetoric to yourself. I can't stomach it. You Coopers are a bunch of dirty, attention-grubbing thieves! All of you, thieves!
It was quite a revelation. Penelope and the Black Baron were one and the same. The Black Baron, a big-time dogfighting champ up there in Holland. He's so good that he's even set up an international competition called Aces to attract worthy opponents.
That's enough. You win, Cooper. Why? For you, of course. I had to make you see how things could be.
I'm not going to be one of the bad guys, Penelope.
Huh, bad guys? That's kind of funny, Bentley, seeing as how you work for a thief. But you know the most valuable thing Sly ever stole? Your potential. Together, we could change the world, but you're still chasing after honor for chump change.
It's only a matter of time before he puts them back together. And when that happens, well, I'm not gonna let that happen.
Sly Cooper, you have escaped my gas chamber and destroyed my death ray. Remarkable. You Coopers always find a way to be. My skills are superior. My intellect is refined. My experience is great.
I don't get it. You're so familiar with my family. You must have known my father had a son. If you hated the Coopers so much, why did you let me live when you stole the Thievius Raccoonus?
Because I wanted to show the world that without your precious book, the Cooper line is nothing.
Ah, well, there's where you're wrong. The Thievius Raccoonus doesn't create great thieves. It takes great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus.
Enough, Sly Cooper. It ends here. I will finish you like I finished your father. And the Cooper line will be erased and the only master thief will be